Hello everyone, we just received in the mail something that we're going to work on and try today. So just the other day we received a product from LFD Off-Road. It is a window panel that attaches to their roof rack and goes on the outside of a 4Runner. They did send this to us, no charge, and this was a demo model off of one of their employee rigs, so it does have some scratches on it already. It's fine by me. So this was designed for a 5th generation 4Runner, and LFD actually didn't know if it would fit a 4th gen. So we talked about it, and this is the trial run for it. So they sent it to us, no charge, to try it out, see if it fits. First impressions, just checking it out and holding it up. It is a little different shape than the window. We can show this a little bit more later, but the the shape of the panel is a little different shape because the shape on a 5th gen 4Runner is a little different shape. That being said, doesn't bother me one bit, and just dry fitting it, it looks like it's going to work. So we already did a little prep work. We did wash the window on this filthy beast, because there are 2 suction cups on the bottom. These are ram mount suction cups to attach it on the bottom side of the window. And then there's a bracket that is going to mount to the 4 existing bolts up here for the crossbars to hold the upper part of it. So we're going to just go ahead and get into it, and we're going to run a time lapse to watch this happen, and then we'll talk about it as we progress. So first thing first, we're going to have to loosen these 4 bolts holding the 2 crossbars, and LFD does use a 1/2 inch nut on the back side of these bolts. So we're going to go ahead and probably just start with these 2, get them started, and maybe these 2. I'd like to not disconnect everything if I don't have to, and we might have to loosen the roof connection bolts, which looks like they're 1/2 inch as well. So let's see what we can do here. Get this loosened. And we'll go ahead and get these loosened as well. So that one is pretty tight. We're going to need a little persuasion on that. These 2 are pretty loose. I like that. All right, let's go get a little persuader, shall we? All right. Which level of persuasion should we use? Let's go with the good old 1 pound dead blow. I think that'll give us enough. See what we can get with this little guy here. There we go. That was just enough oomph. Perfect. So have a nice bracket that came with this. So this bad boy is going to mount on here, and looks like we have a little bit, depending on where these bolts are. We won't have a lot of room, but we'll have an inch or 2 of wiggle room there that we'll be able to move with these, where these are mounted. Of course, we could always move it over a bolt hole if necessary. Looking at the panel itself, if we're in those holes, it's not bad. Oh, suction cup's grabbed. I think that's gonna work. Just eyeballing it. That'll give me a little forward and back room. So, put this guy down. Excuse me. Cheat a little bit here. Slide that through that one. I could see an extra set of hands here being a little helpful. Unfortunately, I don't really have that available to me today. All right, so slide that in there. Got our little lock, two-piece lock nut or lock washer. Get that loosely started, and then we can slide down here. So I thought this might make it easier to just put one in at a time here. Give me a little bit of room to work here. That. Get those loosely tight. So get those about finger tight. Let's see if we got enough room to work here. Perfect. Now we can take this guy out. I have a good idea once in a while, and this seems like it was a good spacing. Mount those. I don't have to hold that anymore. That's supporting itself. Thankfully, they give us some nice long rails to work with here, so we got lots of room. So I got everything somewhat finger tight with a little bit of looseness there. Give myself some sliding there. All right, so let's see what we have next. So LFD gave us this nice little parts bag. Got a sticker and one bag of bolts and screws. And inside we have 1, 2, 3, 4 washers, 1, 2, 3, 4 lock washers, 1, 2, 3, 4 bolts, 1, 2, 3, 4 T-nuts. Looks like we got a hex head. All right, so got it loosely fit on here. So I don't know. I'll have to ask LFD about this. Obviously, we have an angle difference here. And this was something that we talked about may be a problem. We didn't know if the angles could be different between the 5th or 4th gen. But looking at this, I can easily flex this to where it needs to be to get that bolt in there and started. And then once I tighten everything down, it's gonna be putting some force against this. And my first impression is that's not a bad thing. It's gonna be giving us the downforce to push this in against. Now I did kind of stick this on here real quick, and I am noticing this suction cup is not wanting to hold super well. So this was a sample unit. These could be a little dirty, so I'm gonna clean those before actually mounting this. It just popped loose again, so I think those need to be cleaned. All right, so we washed those, or just wiped those off, and can get some things lined up here. And we're gonna get this, we're gonna go for this second slot here, just because it kind of matches the window best as possible. It's not going to match perfectly. We go back a slot, we're a little close to the corner, leaving a little bit of glass exposed in the front. And obviously if I go forward one more, I protect the glass a little bit more in the front, expose it more in the rear. So I think I'm gonna go just kind of middle, and I'm gonna go ahead and get those suction cups to help me at least hold this so we can get started. And this one is just not, it is not biting. We may have to do something different with this rear one. So let's see what happens here. So we got our washer. And we're gonna put it in the slot here. Get our T-nut. So, trusty old Allen's. Let's see here. Is it US? It's a little on the loose side. Let's see what we got in metric here. $5mm feels like a really good fit. 5mm metric it is. All right, so we're back. We're gonna go lock washer, washer, T-nut. So on this side, so it looks like we've got 3 slots lining up, one that's off in La La Land, and potentially one of these bolts will in fact line up. Let's see if we can get our huge hands in here. That is a little tight. Let's see. Got my watch on my left arm too, so that makes it a little more difficult. All right, we'll go for the middle one. Now, one thing I did see on their website, on their sample on the website, they did have all 4 lined up, and they had like one up high, kind of like this, one down low, or 2 down low, I think, and then one back up high. So they were trying to distribute this a little bit better. So I'm gonna see if I can work this down here a little bit. Now, I do have adjustment to move this down the window a little bit, which might honestly not be a bad idea. Get these down close to the edge where we actually have some metal behind them, not just in the middle of the glass, but on some extra. And now it's fitting to hold really good on that suction cup. That's nice. Now that I want to actually move it. Let's see if we can slide her down a little bit more. I could probably go even further, honestly. Ooh. So that puts the suction cups a little closer to the edge of the window, kind of lines it up over the window a little bit more. So let's see what we can do here. We're going to do the same sort of thing that they had in their pictures here. Go one high, one low, and this is actually making that angle work a little bit better too by being down a little further. I could slide the bracket further forward, so maybe that's a better play to get these lined up so I can have four bolts going. Food for thought. Can change it later. This is pretty simple change, and that's a good angle. We'll reach out to LFD on this. We'll shoot him an email. He's always really responsive to emails. This is looking like it's going to work pretty well, and so my intent, I don't know what I'm going to mount on this yet, But my intent was, if this worked, I'm going to purchase the one for the other side and get that done. I'd like to possibly mount max tracks or something else here, get something off the roof or in from inside that doesn't need to be in there, and more accessible here. So let's see if we can pop that bad boy on. Get a little pressure on this one. We are, so I am getting an angle here to where that suction cup isn't wanting to grab now. So I think we may have made some answers here. We may want to slide this back up a little to get that angle better, or loosen this, suction cup it, and then get it defined. Let's see if we can get some little bit of weight behind it. Negative. Put a bunch of body weight behind it. That doesn't feel good at all. Just not. So, yeah. Let's pop this guy loose. All right. Well, experiment and learn, right? This is nobody knew if it would even work on this rig, so we'll slide it back up a little bit. It could easily be done. I'm a little crooked anyways. I wouldn't mind it being just even with that body panel, or the bottom of the glass. I mean, it's currently moving the whole rig. So how well that's going to hold with that angle. It did pull the bracket in. Anyways, that is plenty solid right now. I don't think that's going to have any problem holding weight at the moment. And I still got these to tighten down. And if you haven't seen anything on the roof rack, I do have a review video of changing this over. And this, in my opinion, best roof rack, bang for the buck. You could spend more and not get as much. These guys did an awesome job on these racks. If you want my 2 cents on it. All right, well, the $1 million question of the day was, would the LFD 5th gen 4Runner window panel mount to the 4th gen? And I say yes, absolutely. With a little bit of finessing the panels around, it does not match the glass shape, which if you see the pictures of this this panel mounted to a 5th gen, they mimicked the glass shape very well with this. You can tell that once you mount it up, the front slope matches the slant, and the back slant matches the back slant. Do I care? I don't care. I wanted the panel. I wanted to be able to mount my max tracks or something else over here. And the other side, I like the look of it. I like having more real estate. It does kind of protect the rear window. We'll be ordering and paying for the other side from them and outfitting this. So thanks for watching, and feel free to like and subscribe if you want more of our content.